We're broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios. Visit MTE.com. Middle Tennessee Electric, serving to make life better since 1930.
Since 1936.
This is the WGNS Action Line. Talking with Rutherford County newsmakers for 78 years.
Since 1947.
This is the WGNS Action Line. Now, your host, Scott Walker.
And this morning in studio, we have folks from the Murfreesboro Parks and Rec Department. And I just realized all the settings are wrong on this board here. So none of the microphones are working yet. Give me like 2 seconds to fix all that, and then we'll come back. There really are people here in the studio. I'm not all alone. Nate, are you really here?
I think so. I really think you're just trying to show off all your new fancy intros and stuff like that.
I wanted to hit a lot of buttons this morning just to see, are they all working? And turns out they are.
Right. We've been doing this show for a long time. That's the first time that's ever happened.
First time we've ever had a mess up at all, period.
In the history of WGNS?
First time in history, yeah. And you guys experienced that firsthand.
I forgot to turn my phone off.
Yeah, Thomas has been, the one who leaves
There's
his phone
the second accident of the morning.
So, yeah, I always tell the story. My first time I ever did this show was, I forgot when it was, but it was the day after Christmas.
1947.
Yeah, 1947. It was the day after Christmas. I was the assistant aquatics coordinator, worked out at SportsCom. And I didn't know what I was doing, and nobody else showed up the day after Christmas.
You were the only one here.
Yeah, me and Bart, and that was it. I didn't know what I was doing. It was terrible.
How old were you?
It was frightening. I was probably 21. But yeah, I don't know. Like everything I had to say, I said it in about 20 seconds, and we had a whole hour to fill.
But Bart can fill it.
Bart, by the grace of God, just kind of carried the show that day. He educated me quite a bit about Parks and Recreation that day, and he realized we were in trouble after the first minute. It was rough.
I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
This kid's not going to survive at Parks and Rec.
But I was so excited. But, I was invited to to show.
Did you wear a swimsuit? I mean, if it's about the pools.
I had my whistle and... I was really excited, but yeah, I told Bart that story again, and I think he remembered it because it was so bad that day.
So Parks and Rec literally threw you under the bus as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, I like to think it was a mistake of sorts. Hopefully,
I'm sure it was.
Looking back, might have been some
conspiracy
strategy involved with that. I'm not sure, but hey. We're still here. We're all still here.
When you were on the air as a lifeguard? Is that what it was?
I was an assistant aquatics coordinator.
As an I didn't mean to get that wrong. As an assistant aquatics coordinator, when you were on the air that first time, did you ever have any idea that you'd be coming back as the director of the parks?
I don't know. I had a lot of aspirations back then.
I was going to be an attorney, but...
No, I think I speak for all of us. We love our job. We've been here for a long time, and we're thankful to be able to do what we do.
Was it fun back then? I'm curious because the town was a lot smaller back. I mean, because, when you go back even like 1999, I was looking at an old map, and I think I mentioned this before, but it said the population in 99 was like 60,000 or something in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I mean...
It's always been fun.
It's always been fun. You're in the wrong business. We tell our people all the time that we've got to have fun, because if we're not having fun doing what we're doing, the people who are visiting our facilities, who are participating in our programs, coming to our events... they're not going to have fun. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I can just see if you showed up at like SportsCom, for example, and all the lifeguards and everybody out there working was just kind of moping around. Hey guys, hello. It wouldn't be fun.
That's not a great culture. We want a place where people feel the energy and get excited to come to our facilities. And I think, the proof is there by the amount of people who do, take advantage of the great facilities that we have, the new facilities that we continue to bring on, and renovated facilities like the old Fort Park ball field that we just opened last week.
And I had some questions about that. I wrote 32 questions out about the new ball field.
The gotcha questions?
Because the synthetic turf out there.
Yeah.
I was curious, the dirt, I know I asked this before, but I guess I didn't quite grasp it. Synthetic turf on a softball field, how do you do that? Because I get synthetic grass, but dirt.
It's not synthetic. I mean, you're talking about the infield.
Right.
It's the same material. It plays the same way. It's a different color.
Really?
No, it is a different technology.
You got to move that mic up a little. He's 40 feet back from the mic. Okay, here we go. Thomas Laird introducing.
It was all set up for us when we got here.
We had really short people in studio before.
So the technology of the turf is advanced so that the brown turf that you see that looks like the infield, it's a different underlayment that gives it what they call a true hop So the ball reacts similar to the way it would on dirt as opposed to a ball out in the outfield, but it's all synthetic.
It's not a synthetic dirt necessarily. It's just a different type of surface.
That's cool, though. Is it, for the most part, maintenance free? I mean,
there's still maintenance that goes along with it. You know, you're not cutting the grass, you're not dragging the field and stuff like that, but it's a different type of maintenance that you have to drag it. You have to run, litter cat over it and then groom the rubber inside. So it takes, some maintenance. It's less maintenance, but the thing is that it's usable so much more. And that's the reason we didn't do a ribbon cutting or a grand opening last week, because it was raining. We thought, hey, we just got substantial completion. We want people to be able to use the fields instead of waiting. And I think people really enjoyed that. And it looks so much better. Our maintenance team did a great job. They cut down just a lot of those, scraggly trees right in front of the park off of Old Fort Parkway. And it just looks good, just those small touches. But I think people, especially seeing it at nighttime when it's lit up, it's going to be something our community's really proud of.
Hands down, my favorite turf that you guys have, though, is out there at the soccer parks, at the Siegel Soccer Complex, because, man, it looks so real. And when you walk on it, it's just got a cool feeling to it.
Yeah, it feels pretty, much the same way it would if you were walking on a nice Bermuda soccer field. It feels really similar. And I think what we've proven ever since that project is that, investing in synthetic turf is a smart thing for us to do, because the usability for not just our local leagues, but the tournaments that come in and spend, tax dollars, spend their money here. And it really helps us where we don't have to look at raising taxes all the time.
I told myself if I ever, build another house, move again, whatever, I want to get some of that synthetic turf in my backyard. I mean, not a real big area. It's a little expensive, but I do want just around my patio or something, because it's cool, and it's always green.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends who have that, and it's really nice to see. So,
but it's like a whole structured system. I mean, you've got layers and layers, right?
So we built that up about 18 inches, and so you grade it, you build it up with gravel. There's a system of piping underneath where the water drains to, and then that goes to stormwater. So, what that project did as well is it really helped with the stormwater issues that we had out there. We got the impervious pavers that the water will help drain. People who've been around here for any amount of time can recall that place when it rains, just the water stayed forever, and that field just stayed like a sponge almost. So,
but that's not a concern anymore, right?
Not a concern anymore. We were able to get some help from our stormwater friends with Murfreesboro Water Resources to invest in some of the new technology to make that what it is now.
Was that a tear coming out?
I'm really passionate about it, Scott.
I love synthetic turf.
Just
very proud of this project.
I'm very proud.
Have y'all ever thought about doing synthetic turf like where the Frisbee golf courses are? I mean, that kind of a cool...
We do have tee pads at Central Valley. When we put in that new course, we did an in-house build, and we used the remnants or the scraps left from Siegel project to do synthetic turf.
That's a good idea.
Tee pads. It works well. It's not a permanent solution because the turf only lasts 5 to 7 years, and on something like that, it might be even less.
Yeah.
But it certainly fills a void until we can put in concrete and do a little more.
The cool thing about Old Fort Park, where the big softball project and all that was, it's changed so much over the years. You guys have added so much. You got the pickleball. I mean, it's just coming from where it used to be, where it started. I remember the biggest project ever there was Kids Castle at first, and then it's really blossomed a lot.
We added Adams Tennis Complex back in 2014, I believe. And it's just this past year and a half, Old Fort Park, I really consider our capstone park in a lot of ways, has gone through a lot of improvements, additions. We added the skate park. Renovated the golf course, renovated the original 6 tennis courts or 8 tennis courts, added pickleball, renovated the ball field, and then we also resurfaced all the tennis courts that were there outside and inside next to Adams Tennis Complex. So we're fortunate to be able to not always just add things, but maintain what we have. Back to, baseball and softball, the mayor...
I apologize for
the mayor's asked us to look into what it would take to maybe potentially make some of these improvements throughout the park system. So we're looking at that, not anything, imminent or immediate, but we're working on that right now, just seeing what the cost would be to continue the improvements that we have started.
Tennis, it's one of those things I've never really gotten into. I mean, playing it, actually. What do you put down on those tennis courts when you resurface those? How does that play out?
Well, it's an asphalt surface, and then they put what they call a leveler, so it's seems like thick tar. But they spread that out, and then they put a color coat down, and then they go back, paint their lines, and then they'll put a finished color coat. And then that color coat is basically a colored paint that has sand in it that gives the grit for the course.
I never knew that. I was always curious about that. But yeah, okay, so, and you guys have the pickleball course, same type of surface?
Right, same surface for pickleball. And we had a really good company we worked with this year that just did a phenomenal job of not just putting pretty color on there, but the leveling. When it rains, there's no mouse or any water standing on the courts, which is really phenomenal.
No birds, no mice.
Well,
no
they call them
water.
bird baths. Is, you know,
I got you.
There's a little puddle on the court, and there's no bird bath.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you were able to tell they're good courts without the birds and the mice out there.
That's
so.
right. That's right. That's
right.
Telltale sign right there.
I know about that nature.
That's right. Old Fort has really come a long way, though, and the neat thing about it is that's one of the original parks for the city.
Yeah, built in the 70s. There was some federal funding that's. I was recently looking at some documentation about when they started building that and just how cheap everything was back then. But
I bet.
Yeah, it's.
How much was a carton of milk?
I don't know.
But with the parks, when you do look back at projects like that started in the 70s, what were the biggest differences in prices? I mean, not necessarily the specific price,
just
but
construction prices were
construction
so low.
in general.
You know, playgrounds were much less expensive. To build that field was incredibly cheap. But you know, we're fortunate. It's. I think there was a legacy that started really in the 70s, and councils from even the 50s on to the 70s. I think the 70s they put a real focus on parks, and then the 80s, Mr. Rainier really took it to the next level and started adding. You had a sports common in 1987, Patterson Park, the renovation that happened there, started in 1996 effectively. So just so much growth that happened since then.
And now, Dennis Rainier, how long was he the director of the park system? A long time.
Yeah, Dennis, he retired, I think, in 2008. I think he became the director in the late 70s.
That's cool. Okay.
So, yeah.
So you will carry that on, and
I think we will. I mean, Thomas and Rachel and I had a chance to work with Mr. Rainier, and we've got a great team that just continues to try to honor that legacy and the support that we've had from our park system, our city councils that have been over the years, and our park system has really benefited from that.
The cool thing about the parks offices and everything, you guys have all really been together for a lot of years. I mean, so you really know how to work well with each other, and that's unusual, I think, for maybe not for Murfreesboro, because I do see that in some other offices, but it's unusual in a lot of towns of our size. You see a higher turnover, but you don't see that here like you do in other areas.
Yeah, it's great. We've all been here for some time, but we continue to add awesome team members that just join in, and we're all one group that working for the same common goal.
When y'all go to different events and stuff like conventions that are park focused, do you see that? I mean, do you see a lot of the same people? Do you see high turnover there at other areas?
I think just like anything, there's growth. I think our growth has been more evident maybe than other communities just because of, the type of stuff that we're doing. But, yeah, we see the same people. It's good to connect with other professionals. I think of Mike Moss in Smyrna. Mike's a great guy. We're a resource for each other. And it's good to connect with those types of people.
Smyrna, they're one of those park systems. I mean, they're really starting to grow, quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that in some of the other, like Lebanon, for example, Mount Juliet? Do you guys all work together? Hey, this is an idea that we came up with here.
Absolutely. I think, you have those conferences and stuff where you share ideas. We hosted last year at the state conference, and we're able to really show off our facilities and talk about our operations, and also give the opportunity for people who might not participate in those conferences the time to engage with other professionals and them learn from how we do things. We were able to take large groups out to Siegel and meet with Sam Stoles, who's our operations coordinator out there, and for her, how she runs that facility is just tremendous. And I think a lot of people gained a lot from that, but that goes throughout the park system.
When you look across the state of Tennessee and see other cities and counties and whatnot. Are some of those park systems there in other areas of Tennessee, are they starting to grow as the population increases? Because really, we're growing as a whole state.
I think everybody's growing. I think the private sector is taking part in some of that in other communities. But yeah, I think everybody, just with Tennessee growing in general, I think the value of recreation services and parks and the programs and facilities that are provided are something that not just for, the benefit of living in Murfreesboro, making it a great place to live, work, and play, but it's also attractive for other businesses. I know when companies are looking to potentially relocate or open up an operation in Murfreesboro, they want to look at the quality of life. And I'd like to think that, we're able to contribute, some part to that in Murfreesboro.
So what all is happening this time of year? I mean, what are the big events or things happening? I know, of course, the Christmas parade's one of them, but what else is happening?
We were just talking a second ago. Rachel is our Christmas coordinator. So she's the de facto Christmas guru in Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, does all things Christmas.
Rachel is the official Christmas spirit.
I'm just lucky enough to have awesome staff that take this and run with it. I am not the Christmas guru. I love Christmas, don't get me wrong, but our staff is just so creative, and they just have the opportunity to really immerse themselves in their creativity and show the community, what they can do. And I think the community really loves that. These programs are growing every year, and we've got a new one coming up. It's called Christmas at Cannonsburg, Charming Christmas. And again, back to the staff, just taking that and running with it. So they're going to be open 3 weekends in December on Friday and Saturday nights. And it's a great opportunity to go into the village and to be kind of transported back into a simpler time. And just, enjoy all things Christmas. And so they've planned a whole menu of activities, and each night is going to be a little bit different. So I really encourage people to, if they're able to come out, try to come out on a couple of different nights. So we've got music, we'll have Santa, we'll have letters to Santa, where the kids can write their letters and mail them in the general store, which was the post office.
Oh, cool.
And then... it's going to be lit up really cute. We'll have the tour guides there. So you really will be transported back into kind of that late 1800s time period.
And this is all going to be at Cannonsburg starting December 5th that weekend.
Yes. So Friday and Saturday each weekend, 4 to 8. And there's a small fee to come in, but well worth it. We've got an a cappella group that's coming one of those weekends. And we have some of the local school choirs are going to be there. Santa's going to make an appearance twice. We'll have a band, a DJ. So, yeah, like I said, it'll be a different type of night each night that you go. So.
What night are you singing, Rachel?
All of them.
Each night.
Each night.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Not to take the spotlight, but every single night. I was at a meeting, I guess, a couple of days ago, and somebody was talking about how they remembered there being an art studio of something or of some kind at Cannonsburg, and I was trying to remember that. I don't remember
so
an
the
art studio.
League is, and it's still there.
It is still
there. And they
there,
actually will be participating in a Charming Christmas. They're going to have face paints, and you can go and kind of glean a little bit of what they do in the community. Artists love to talk about their work, and they're a great group of people, and so they welcome any kind of interaction. And yeah, they're going to be a big part of this.
Is there a building at Cannonsburg where they're working painting?
Yes, in the back, the warehouse.
That must have been what they were talking about.
Okay. That. Yeah.
And they've been active there since almost the very beginning,
right,
correct?
Right.
So Cannonsburg was opened in 1976, and you look back at some of the old documents, and they were partnering then to have
And they're
a
big
place.
part in each of our special events that we have there. They help us with school groups. So, yeah, they're very active.
It shows what I know and what I remember. Very little, it just goes in one ear.
Well, you need to come out on one of these nights.
And paint a picture.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At the art building. That's right. But that's all coming up at Cannonsburg. And the events that you have, like, when you have a hayride, it's always very family oriented. Not saying that other events at other parks are not, but I'm saying at Cannonsburg, it's cool how you have
stuff. I like to think that's what we do, across the board.
Pretty much everything's family oriented.
It's just a really sweet atmosphere, whether it's Pioneer Days, Harvest Days, Christmas. It's each of the seasons that you can come to Cannonsburg is really special.
I think Rachel, and we have a new operations or a facility coordinator out there, Mary Beth Nevels, and she's doing a tremendous job really coming up with new creative ideas and how to really revitalize, Cannonsburg. It's been here for some time, like I said, 1976. So
50 years coming up.
50 years. So as we get close to Town Creek opening, we're looking at ways to revitalize Cannonsburg and give people reasons to come. And it's not going to be an extension of Cannonsburg. Town Creek's not, but you can't deny the proximity and how it might spark some of the things that we can do out there. Well,
Cannonsburg, it's a cool place. Now, some of those buildings that are there, were some of those actual original buildings to Murfreesboro, or was one of them?
They're all original to Rutherford County.
Okay.
And they've been moved in. We've got one original building that's still there, and it's now the Haynes Museum, but it was the cotton mill.
Oh wow, okay. And the mill, the mill there.
The grist mill.
Was that actually used somewhere else in Rutherford County? As an actual working mill?
It was. Yep. I don't know the exact location, but it was in Rutherford County.
That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. And we've been turning that on a lot more lately on these special events. And again, it just goes back to the sights and sounds. You get transported back as soon as you go through those gates.
Even as a kid, the smell of the blacksmith shop is something that you never forget. And every time, whenever there's an event going on, if you walk past it, it just kind of transports you back in time.
Right. It is neat.
But yeah, no, it's cool. And they're actually working blacksmith who do different projects there.
And they're there a lot too. We've got great partners there. And so the blacksmith, just like the Art League, they help us with all of our special events and a lot of times our school groups. And they love to do demonstrations and talk about their craft as well.
So the events coming up for the month of December at Cannonsburg, is there a charge for anything?
There is. It's a $5 charge, and then that will get you in, and whatever the activities are going on, you can enjoy those for the whole night. I do want to mention, though, the last couple of years, we started in 2020, we had the drive-through Christmas at Cannonsburg with the light-up displays, and it was really popular. We've changed kind of the locations of those displays, and there's a lot of displays that are still in the village, and so you can walk through and really still enjoy that, but we won't have the drive-through this year.
It would be hard to drive through with all the people walking around
there,
dodging, weaving in and out. How are you going to incorporate Cannonsburg with the new Town Creek opening up? I say the new Town Creek, but the daylighting of Town Creek for the first time since, 1950 or so?
Yeah, I think we're really excited just on the facelift of that whole area and what that's going to bring. I foresee a lot of people just using that space in there, that green space, and then it'll just spill right into Cannonsburg. So it's just kind of like a welcome path into hopefully rediscovering Cannonsburg.
The whole Town Creek project, it's a really cool idea because, for people like me who grew up for the most part in Murfreesboro, I've never seen a creek going along Broad Street. This is going to be something new, even though it's been there underground.
Right.
It's going to be something brand new. I think it's going to bring a lot of people something about water scenes. They make you want to be a part of that area.
Absolutely.
I think with the rapid growth, too, of buildings going up, the intentional focus on making this a green space with water running through, it's going to be a very peaceful place. I think it's just kind of making it a staple of downtown that you can have this kind of oasis in a sense.
I think it's really neat that it's going to bookend. We've got the Discovery Center in Murphy Springs on one side and Cannonsburg on the other, and so all of those are just a way to experience outdoor and nature and kind of immerse yourself into those different areas, and then that's going to be a corridor that's going to lead you to each place.
Once that is complete, and Church Street goes right there next to where it's going to start, right there at Church at Broad. Is Church Street going to be kind of like the main entryway, I wonder, to downtown Murfreesboro, to the square and everything?
I think we got multiple, main entries. You look at Medical Center Parkway, you look at what is happening in the near future with Cherry Lane, Church Street. I think there's just we've gotten so large where we have multiple entries, but I think all of them, there's going to be something that you can be proud of and that'll really welcome people to Murfreesboro.
Now, is the parks, are they going to be over that Town Creek once it's complete and everything?
We're looking at how that's going to operate. We know we're going to play some part in it. I was talking to our city manager about that the other day, just talking about the strategy behind that. We got a little bit of time, but we got some ideas, but we'll partner like we do with multiple things with our public works guys and, take good care of it.
Because there's a lot to that project.
Yeah.
You're also talking about a bridge over Broad Street, and I don't know, is that going to be right there at the South Church intersection, or is it going to be down a little bit further, somewhere between Vine and Church Street? There's going to be a pedestrian bridge.
There's going to be a pedestrian bridge, and that all ties in with the Keystone development across the street that's in process right now. So there's a lot of things happening.
There really is. And what else is happening? And Rachel, I guess I'm looking at you because I'm looking at my notes here.
Christmas, right? So we've
still
got
talking about Christmas.
The Christmas parade coming up. That's rapidly approaching. We're excited about it. Busy planning it. As you know, it's a long-time staple here in Murfreesboro.
How long did you work with the Christmas parade?
Yeah, since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And I remember my mom coordinating it when I was, probably when I was in third grade. I remember she would coordinate it and then push me over here to the Cub Scouts, where I'd walk with the Cub Scouts in the parade. And then at the end of the parade, I'd get to the end, and there's no mom. She was still in front.
So for your listeners, the WGNS and your family really started the Christmas parade, correct?
From what I remember, I think so, because...
And y'all managed it for 30 years?
Longer than that. It's been a while since I've been a little kid.
And then...
it's been a long time.
So how many years?
At least several 40 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah, several years ago, you guys came to us and asked if we'd be interested in helping, and did a transition, and we've been happy to host it ever since.
And it grows every year, as long as it's not raining or snowing. Mm-hmm. It grows.
Snow would be cool, but
it would be. But I remember at least once we've had to call it off because it was just way too icy outside one year. But I don't remember calling it because of rain in the past, but I do because of ice and snow.
Rain or shine, that's what we tell people.
Rain or shine. And we're fortunate. Thomas is our expert meteorologist on staff. And if he says it's not going to rain, it's not going to rain. Yeah. So, Thomas, is it going to rain? No.
Is he shaking his head?
He said
yes.
No, it's not going to rain.
Not going to rain.
I've had 8 orders put in, so I
Middle Tennessee Electric was on the air this morning talking about being in the parade, because they've been in the parade for as long as I can remember as well. There's certain groups, certain organizations, businesses who have been in or part of Rutherford County for years, and so many of them have been in the parade for 40 plus of those years that the parade's been going on.
I think it's something we're excited. It's been a staple, and I think it grows every year. I think the people who come and watch it, and
the crowd definitely grows every year.
It grows every year, and it's fun. And this year's Grand Marshal, I don't know if you guys have announced it. The mayor announced it a couple weeks ago on Veterans Day, but Bill Allen is this year's Grand Marshal.
I heard. That's so cool.
Yeah, Mr. Allen has been a staple in our community for a long time. He's served on the Golf Commission, the Parks and Recreation Commission, has been just a true, advocate for Murfreesboro. And, of course, his legacy of in the military and the things he's done for our country are never unnoticed.
Yeah, we aired an interview that was recorded a number of years ago with him. And in fact, it was Chip Walters who aired the interview on his show. It was right before the Veterans game, the Salute to Veterans game at MTSU, and they played that interview with him, with Bill Allen. He is so fascinating. The stories that he was able to recall, tell, and remember were amazing.
Yeah, Mr. Allen's 100 years old now.
100.
He's 100.
That's awesome.
So we're excited to have him in the parade as our Grand Marshal. We asked him, and he just emphatically said yes, whatever we needed. So it's just kind of just Mr. Allen in a nutshell. But, he's a World War II survivor, D-Day survivor. just like I said, just a great representative for Murfreesboro, and he really loves this city, and it's evident every time you talk to him.
Now, what is he going to be in at the front of the parade? I mean, have you got a special vehicle he's going to be? What is he going to be in?
Yeah, we're working on that right now. So we got some feelers out. I think we'll have something nice. A lot of times, we'll have a convertible. I know Dr. Bonner, when she was the Grand Marshal the year before last, she sat in that convertible and did a great job. Mr. Allen, we anticipate it being a little cold, so we're going to come up with something
something with a good heater.
Yeah.
A Jeep would be good. The Jeep heaters are like second to none. They're very hot heaters.
Do you have any like toys around your house that
No Jeeps.
No Jeeps.
I don't. Sorry about that.
I thought you were like throwing up a softball for me.
No.
So you're looking for a vehicle? I'm like, yeah, we actually are.
Well, good luck. Yeah. And a golf cart. Well, you don't have any golf carts with heaters, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, we're working on this at the office.
We're building a heater right now, and anyway, so the Christmas parade. Yeah. Time to sign up? Is it too late to sign up? What are we looking at?
A few more days. So registration will close December 5th, and you can go to our website, murfreesboroparks.com, or the city website, and easily found there. So.
And are you, of course, always encouraging floats and things like that? But are you starting to see an increase in the number of people who put together an actual float for the parade?
Absolutely, and that's one of our missions that we're hitting pretty hard this year. So every year we have a theme, and so this year is a Sweet Christmas, and we actually have an approval process this year. So we're really encouraging people to just go all out and decorate, whether they're doing a float, a car, walking group, and then on top of that, encouraging them a little bit more to take that theme into consideration. And so we're excited. We're looking forward to some real creative things this year.
As electric departments around the world advance, I'm anticipating the day where we don't have the electric lines going down East Main, and maybe like the Macy's parade, we'll have these great big blow up floats.
I would love it.
Giant Garfields and Snoopies. That would be kind of cool, though.
It would.
I don't know if there's some company that rents those out.
I mean, surely, right?
Yeah, there's got to be. Yeah. So maybe one day we'll have that.
Yep.
Maybe a giant blow up Nate. Right? Look at that. There he is. The parks director floating down East Main. Anyway, so the sign-up deadline for that is going to be on like December the 5th, you said, right? Is that right?
Yes, December 5th.
And then the parade itself, second Sunday of December.
Yes, December 14th. It'll start at 2 o'clock at the intersection of Middle Tennessee and Main. And it goes straight down Main, they go around the square, ends at Walnut Street. So.
I didn't realize we only have like 2 minutes left. So
time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, that's right. Real quick. What time are you telling people to show up for those listening, or do they
can start as early as 10 to show up. We'll have all the information and get it out to them multiple ways, and so just head to our website and all the information will be there.
Sounds good. So we talked about that, scratch that off the list, and then the Christmas at Cannonsburg, right around the corner. But really, to find out any of the information of anything happening, Nate, what is the website?
Yeah, MurfreesboroParks.com is really the go-to. You can find out things like our buy one, get one that's coming up. That's a great place to look at that information. But MurfreesboroParks.com, and then you can go to any of our social media. We've got individual social media, Facebook pages for our facilities like St. Clair Senior Center, and then SportsCom Patterson, the Wilderness Station. But we've got our overarching Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Facebook that really kind of encapsulates everything.
And with the last minute here, the New Year's Day 5K, that's one of those events that also grows in popularity each year. That's going to be actually on New Year's Day 5K. Where is it going to be?
So Barfield Crescent Park, and run sign up. You can go and sign up there at that website. So it's open right now, and that's just a fun event. You can run it as fast as you want, but it's casual, lighthearted. Come out, get active, start off the new year in a
and that's going to be
way.
10 a.m. start time, is that right?
That's right.
So you can stay out late and party,
that's
and then
right.
Get up the next day at 10 and start
or
running.
Just stay up the whole night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's one that we've had some cold days too.
There's
one day it was 7 degrees, I remember.
Did you say 7 degrees?
7 degrees.
I would not want to even walk in that.
I was living my best life. It was fun.
Goodness.
We are already out of time, folks.
Okay.
So again, check the park's website for all the latest on everything we talked about this morning. Get dates of future events and more, all at murfreesboroparksandrec.com.